This conference will now be recorded.
So Pratik, so it's a good question. So sometimes to do the same task, we can maybe use different ways, right?
Okay,
Here,
okay,
user is one way, role is one more way.
got it.
And
Okay,
as I told you, if I go with a user, okay, maybe one or two users means directly I can go with a user itself, and I'll give the user details to the credentials, the access key and secret key to that particular users, and they will go ahead and use it. Okay, and if at all they have a huge team, maybe 50 members, 100 members, sometimes it is possible. Application team or database team or development team. So in that case, simply I'll create a role and I will assign the role to that particular EC2 instance from where they would like to access. Okay, it's completely up to your wish, up to your decision. Okay, so maybe as you said, so why not role instead of a user? It's up to you. For
got it,
security
got it.
purpose, for cost perspective, we'll go with a role. But both are same. Both will do the same stuff. If you have credentials, you can join from anywhere, not only from that particular. Maybe sometimes how it what could be the maybe situation means. Like if I create a role, what happened? Only from that particular EC2 instance, from where I attach to which EC2 instance I attach, from there only he can access. Yes or no?
Yeah, yeah,
But
that's true.
sometimes even he need like from number of EC2 instance, he don't know right away from where he need access. In that case, how can I proceed with role? Is it possible? Every
No,
time, whenever he need from new machine, he'll come to me. Hey, please attach this. Please attach this. Please. So you may have thousands of servers.
got it, got it.
Then in that case, right?
Yeah,
So
yep,
there are scenarios again. Based on scenario, you have to follow, right?
got it.
So are you clear now?
Yes, yes, now I'm clear.
Okay, good. Yeah.
One more question more. So,
Yes.
so
Tell me.
for AWS CLI, remember,
Hmm.
even though before you connecting the PuTTY, you have to start the EC2 instance. So let's say, for example, you don't have a EC2 instance, but you want to create via the AWS CLI. How can you create it?
Even in your laptop also, command line is there, right? You can install AWS CLI in your Windows box.
Instead of PuTTY, we can create from the CMD.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Oh,
You need a AWS CLI again.
got it.
AWS
Okay.
CLI
Then,
mandatory. You have to install it from anywhere, maybe in your laptop, in your MacBook, in your Linux box. All they need is one box, one operating system. On top of
okay,
it, you
from
have to
the
install AWS CLI. Then you can run your AWS account.
got it, got it. Okay,
Okay? Yeah.
got it. Yeah.
So, okay, guys. Today's
Amal,
concept is yes.
Amal,
Tell.
my turn
He,
now.
he,
So,
oh,
you,
Vicky. So
yeah,
just before Sam remembered you,
I was
he
asking
was
you.
asking.
he always remembers me.
You're
I don't
finally,
know.
you're finally here, man. Nice to see you once again.
He was
Thanks,
missing
thanks.
you, Mickey.
Glad to see you too.
Uh,
I was actually curious about one of your questions. Intentionally, I didn't send the solution to you because it was like, pages and pages. So when we schedule the event to start and stop the instance, it's a very complicated process. Is there a simple process for that? Because the solution that I got, it was like import Boto3, that is the SDK, create a cloud event, and all kind of stuff.
Yes, you are right. Again, you can do in multiple ways. So one of the ways by using the Lambda service in AWS. Okay. So apart from that, simple. First, find out the AWS, sorry, command, CLI command to start and stop the EC2 instance. Okay. Get
Yeah.
the commands. Then after schedule with like our cron job.
Okay, yeah, that was one of the
Uh,
solutions. The solution that I got was create an IAM policy first, then Lambda start on schedule by importing Boto 3 SDK. It's the Python code. Then Lambda stop using Boto 3. Then CloudWatch, creating a cloud event, and then navigating to AWS console and scheduling the cron job.
yes,
Is
you're
that
right. So different ways you have. Now directly AWS CLI command also you can schedule. So get the AWS CLI. So guys, how many of you worked on my questions, yesterday's questions?
it took me
I
four
work on
hours?
it.
Working, Aman.
Yeah, guys, please you have to
I
work.
worked on the
So
Then only
another
I will
another
give the new questions.
so another
I
solution I
need it.
use a cloud what is called there is a service called
Mhm. So which one you are referring for? Which task?
cloud the last one, the scheduler one, cloud formation service. You can
Uh-huh.
using that service, and then you can create a template, and then you can assign to
Okay.
EC2 instance. Like we basically it
Uh-huh.
will create the two DynamoDB. One is a state one is a config. Where config you can assign your scheduler, and for that same name like a tag and tagging to this to EC2 service, and from there you
Okay.
can scheduler.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. So all you need is like I need a schedule. So how you will do it's out of matter. It's up to you. Sometimes different ways we have. So based on your situation and based on your condition, you have to achieve it. And one more thing. So one more also you can so take it as a task. I showed what is snapshot, right? What is snapshot?
Mm-hmm.
Snapshot is a backup of
Back off
my
of
volume,
image.
right? So I want to have like a daily schedule for that snapshot. Maybe daily morning 4 o'clock. I want to schedule a backup, okay? And I want to delete old backups. Maybe last three should be available, and every day 4 o'clock new one will be should be created. Snapshot. Even AMIs also you can take it as a task. The same way how you like how you are creating stopping your EC2 and starting, right? The same way I want to schedule my AMI creation and this snapshot creation every day 4 o'clock. How it is possible? That is also you can take it as a challenge. So guys, you have to speed up your work, guys. Not like this, okay? Because I have huge number of tasks. It's up to you. How many you complete, that many tasks I will give. Okay, if you are if you do slowly, so then I will give slowly. It's up to you. Please make it fast. Okay.
Sure.
Now let's start, guys. Let's start our work. So our class. So what is the topic today? It's a network topic in AWS. Not only in AWS, it's general concept, guys. General behavior, how network behaves. Okay, in AWS also it behaves the same way, but like again architecture unit, right? Okay, we'll discuss about the general network now, not related to AWS. Okay, so guys, as I told you yesterday, so how many connections we will take in a real time? Maybe for our home purpose, only one
Only one.
connection, right? By default, you will get one public IP from network provider. Let's assume that this is your network provider, maybe some hub. Okay, from here you will get the network connection, wide connection, right? So this wide connection nowadays nobody connecting directly to our laptops or desktop, right? So what we will do, we'll take one router. This is your router, and here This is your network hub, the network provider hub. You will provide the wired connection, and by default, how many IPs you will get? Only one IP. That is called as public IP, guys. Whatever the IP the network provider provides, right? That IP is called as public IP. Okay, you will get only one IP. But in your home, you may have number of laptops, again mobiles, right? So as many as you can connect. But again, there is a limit for that, not maximum. You cannot connect like hundreds of devices to this router actually. Only hardly 10 or 15 only maximum based on your connection. Actually, there is a range for your network, for your whatever the network is providing. It's based on the connection type. If it is a home connection, hardly this router can provide hardly 10 or 15 connections only. 15 more IPs only. Here there is a subnet algorithm. There is an algorithm in router. That algorithm is called as subnet, subnetworking, subdividing your network. Guys, okay, what is that algorithm? So have you heard this word anytime? Algorithm. Algorithm means some formula.
Yes.
In terms of maybe max, so we can say algorithm. So that algorithm will be there. It doesn't matter what is that algorithm, right? It's you don't need that. Okay, don't dig that much, but only just understand how it works. So that algorithm will provide the will subnet this main network and will create more private IPs. Okay, it's not like hundreds of private IPs. It's only based on this connection. How many connections you make with this connection, only that many connections it will make, your router will make, maybe 10 or 15 maximum. If one more person, 16 devices you have, mean you cannot connect, only 15 up to 16th device it won't connect, you won't get the IP address. Someone from the 15th your 15 devices disconnect, again that 16 person can connect. That is how your network works. Here these router defined IPs are there, right? Those are called as private IPs. Like always private IP ranges will be 192 series, 192, then 172, 10 series. Guys, uh, did you observe your IP address anytime? You will get only this IP address. Starts with 192. Now let me see my IP address. You see my laptop IP address. See? So 192 series. Always your IPs will be in these three series only. Your private IP addresses, these are called as. Means every network you will have the same IPs. Even in your laptop also. 192 series only. My laptop also 192. So any home. Even in offices also you will get the same IPs. But there won't be any conflict from one network to another network because these are a private network. No conflicts at all. So they won't be reachable. With these IPs won't be reachable. Then how I'm getting internet means every time whenever I open some page, google.com, maybe whenever I open some connect to network, first it will go to this server router. This is called as gateway for my network. Okay, guys. So here, so let's assume that my IP is somewhere 192, 168, 1.1, 1.2, maybe assume that. This is my IP address, private IP address. 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6, something like that, you will get the IP address. Now, whenever I open a google.com, maybe I'm connecting now GoToMeeting. How it is happen? Actually, it will go to my router first. Here, router will replace my private IP with public IP. Then from that public IP, it will go to the some web page, maybe like youtube.com, facebook.com, or maybe here first it will go to router, then after network hub, From here, it will reach out to the page. So this is how the communication will happen. Okay, here public means network provider like IP. What IP he provided, and private means the internal IP. These won't be available in the market. Every home you have the same IP, but still there won't be any conflict because of the internal nature. They won't be reachable from outside. Always you need a public IP. Then only it is possible. But why I need a private IP? What is the advantage of private IPs means here? Simple thing. You have multiple advantages. First advantage is actually in IP ranges we have 5 classes total. So see guys, you have five ranges total. Okay, class A, class B, class C, class D, class E. So class A starts from 1 to 126. 120 B starts from 128 to 191, 192 to 223, 224 to 239, 240 to 250. I hope everybody knows the IP address has 4 fields. This is the reason it is called as IPv4, IP version 4. Okay, so here guys, what will happen means in class A you have only 1 crore 60 lakhs change IPs only, available IPs, not more than that. Okay, only that many IP addresses you can use. Again in class B, 65,000 IPs only. Then class C has only 254 IPs available in this range. So total how much guys? Again class D is only for gateway, not for IP addresses. Generally we don't get IP address from this range. Okay, this is only for multicasting purpose. Here if you see where is that range? So it's for maybe it's not even for gateway. Something multicast is nothing but broadcast. I can say I don't have correct meaning for that, but it's out of scope right away. Okay, so guys, your IP address, your public provider provides only from these ranges. Again, in this ABC range also, there are 3 ranges like 110 series from class A, 172 series from class B, and 192 from class C. Okay, these 3 ranges are private IP addresses. They won't provide as a public IPs. Nobody will use that as a popular. You cannot use actually. Okay, here why it is required? What is the total count here? How many IPs available? 1 crore 60 lakhs against almost 61 lakhs. 1 crore 61 lakhs IPs only in real time, public IPs. But in a real time, how many devices we do have? Crores of mobile, crores of laptops. Even in an organization, so lakhs of employees. How it is possible this many? So maybe I can say thousands of laptops, thousands of employees, devices, right? 1,000 crores, more than that. Then how it is possible? Hardly you have 1 crore 60 lakhs IP addresses. That is one of the reason why private network is required. Okay, as we don't have enough IPs in the market, like there is a algorithm called subnetworking to create your private IPs, private network. So I'm able to use my network. That's the reason everybody is so taking only 1 or 2 connections and getting the internet to number of devices. One reason. Second reason is, let's assume that I do have 10 devices, 10 laptops in my laptop. If I go with like 10 public connections, let's assume. So how many you have to pay for that then? If you go with 10 public connections, you have to pay for 10 connections. Again, it's very costly, right? Instead of that, what I can do? Simply I can attach my wired network to my router, my Wi-Fi. My Wi-Fi is providing private IPs. So two advantages. Even in real time also, in organization also, he would take corporate connection, not home connection. He will get more IPs from the single connection, maybe 10, 20, 30, based on his connection type. Public IPs, he will get 10, 20 IPs from one connection. He will take like that connection, maybe again 50, something like that, maybe 20, 30, something like that. So what will happen? There, those main connection, he will connect to main switches. Switches means again, it's kind of our router only, but when compared to router, it will be big in size. Even it will be big in functionality also. That is called a switch. Similar to your Wi-Fi, just assume. But more functionality it has. Now what that switch will do? Again, internally, it will create private IPs. Same concept, home and corporate. So let's assume that in one campus, 1,000 employees are there. So they will take hardly, they won't take 1,000 connections. If they take 1,000 connections, thousands are like connections they have to pay. Yes or no? What they will do, they will take hardly 10 or 20 connections, big connections, corporate connections. So they will connect those connections to switches. Same like routers, but it's big in size and functionality. Again, those switches will regenerate or re-subnet. Subnet means subnetworking, subdividing your network into private network, private IPs, and those IPs you will connect to your laptops in an organization. So again, I'm getting more networks. So here advantage of private network is to create more IPs, to get more IPs. Again for cost purpose, cost perspective also. You can reduce your cost. No need to take 1,000 connections. Maybe if you have 5,000 employees in one campus, no need to take 5,000 connections, right? So that is the reason private network is required. Why I discussed about this private network? Again in AWS also we do have that network concept, private network. So let's go ahead with that. So here the network concept is called as VPC, guys, virtual private cloud. In cloud, network concept is called as VPC, virtual private cloud. So why VPC is required actually? So VPC is to logically separate your networks. To create one more network logically, I'll use VPC. Why I need a network? Let's assume that this is your AWS account, guys. Okay, this is your AWS account, and a single account I want to maintain my dev and QA environments. Actually, in real time, guys, dev servers will be having one account, AWS account, if it is a big project, and QA servers will be in one more account, and production servers will be in one more account. You'll maintain multiple accounts, not one account. But for sometimes, if it is a small project, if you don't have enough funds, so if you don't want to maintain multiple accounts, what I can do here means here for dev servers, I'll create one VPC, one network. Okay, this is one VPC and this is one more VPC. Here, what I will do, I'll create my dev servers. I'll create my QA servers here. Maybe in one more VPC, I'll create production servers, production EC2. So this network cannot be reachable because those are in completely different network. But from outside you can connect to these servers, but internally from the whatever the servers here you have in one network cannot be reachable to some other network, one more VPC, which is by default, because there is no connection. They logically we divided them by using the private network. See here, did you remember or not? I don't know. Did you observe this or not? So for every EC2 instance, actually you will get one public network and private network. So public network is provided by your AWS. Okay, there is a pool for AWS. Already they have they have purchased some pool IPs. Okay, from those pool, from those lists, it will assign the IP address to this EC2 instance. Maybe let's assume that in this I created one EC2 instance in this VPC. So what will happen? This VPC, it will assign one IP to here. So that is called as private IP address. And your AWS will assign one more IP to this. This is called as public IP address. Okay, so every EC2 instance has two IPs, guys. One is public IP, one is private IP. Again, public IP is for to customer purpose, for our purpose, to connect our applications or the servers from our network. We'll use this public IP. Without public IP, you cannot connect to your EC2 instance. Again, private IP is for only for internal connections. Actually, EC2 instance has your EBS volume, right? EBS. Then maybe you may use EFS, S3 bucket, right? Again, internal services it may use. Maybe some one more EC2 instance in the same network. Let's assume that there is a dependency between these two servers. So whatever the data I do have here, I want to read from here. Again, internally how they will communicate from one to another means not with public IP, with private IP only. Private IP, private concept here is only for internal communication or in terms of AWS. It's not for outside communications. Again, this public IP, so this EC2 instance has public IP, which is provided by your AWS, not by this VPC. Okay, now let's create a VPC. How it will work? Why I need a VPC? So again, without VPC, you cannot use your services. So VPC is definitely required. Then only that EC2 instance, that particular service can communicate with the AWS other services. It's not independent, right? EC2 is not independent. Again, it should talk to lots of services internally. Storage, it has to talk. Right. Lots of, maybe you may have some applications. It may have to talk to other EC2 instances. Okay, again, this about without this VPC, you cannot get private IP. Without this private IP, you cannot communicate with other services. And VPC is to logically separate your networks. So two multiple advantages. So from one service to another service, let's assume that here dev servers, here QS servers. So by default, this dev server, whatever the EC2 instances you have, even this with private IPs also you cannot log in. Here just assume that here one more EC2. So again it has public and private. So public will provided by your AWS account and private will provided by this VPC. VPC is a service name. Just a minute, guys. Okay. So here in VPC, how to create a VPC means first we'll create a VPC in one range. So as I told, it's completely for private purpose, not for external purpose. So the range should be in private range, something like 160, 192. As I told you, what are the public private IP ranges, guys? 192, 168, sorry, 192, 172, then 10 series. Only 3 ranges you have to give. 168, then maybe something like Z0.0/16. Like this, the IP range will be there for VPC. So I'll explain this what is /16 also. Don't worry. Now again, subnet. Now route table. Now internet gateway. So to create a VPC, you need 4 components, subcomponents. First one is VPC, main network range you have to give. Then after subnet means to get the subnetworking. So you'll get more IPs. Then route table. Route table I will show you clearly from your laptop. Then internet gateway. So as I told you, your AWS will allocate one public IP address, right? So again, this public IP address need a gateway. So actually this VPC will have one gateway. Okay, one internet gateway. So this through this internet gateway only communication will happen to customer. Maybe so now I'm able to connect by using Putty. How it is possible? First it will reach out to internet gateway for this VPC, and that from that VPC, from that internet gateway, it will reach out to, maybe I can say virtual router. I can say internet gateway is nothing but in AWS. And that router you will attach to this VPC. Every VPC has separate routers, separate internet gateway. From that VPC internet gateway only, I'll communicate to this EC2 instances or these services. So why should I create a VPCs? As I told you, already one VPC will be there, but I don't want to create my services in the same VPC. Just assume that, because I'm from different application team. I don't want to mess up. I want to make it a separate network. I don't want to communicate for security purpose. For dev servers and QA servers should not be communicated for security purpose. Again, QA production should not be communicated. Again, for security purpose. Okay, that's the reason we will go with VPC. We'll create VPC. By default, you will have one VPC, guys. Now let's see how to create that VPC. So go ahead, guys. Who is going to share the screen today?
No one
I
is
will
ready.
say.
I'll go for it. Okay, good. Pratik, go on, Pratik.
Okay.
So Pratik. So guys, did you get what I said? Maybe you want me to explain one more time.
Explain once again, Amar. A bit
That would be
chaos.
better, Aman.
Because
Definitely,
yeah. You need to explain once more.
definitely, guys.
Thank you.
So simple, guys. There is a public and private network concept, general itself, not even in AWS. So private IP address means, I'll show you one more time. Here, see, what is the IP address actually? I got 192 series, 192, 168. Always remember 10 series. If an IP address starts with 10, 192, 162, sorry, 172, 192, 10 series. All are private IP addresses range. Why private IP address required? In general means two advantages. One is actually we don't have enough IPs in the market. Only 1 crore 60,000 IP, 60 lakhs IPs only available out of 5 ranges. I showed the ranges, right? 5 ranges. Only first 3 will be used to assign the, whenever you take a connection from internet provider, it'll give the connections IP address from these 3 ranges only. Again, in these 3, 10 series, 192 series, sorry, 172 and 192 series. I'm talking about the first range, first IP address start range. 3 ranges are for private IP address. They leave like that. Whoever is providing the internet. Actually, you may have n number of providers in locally, but all over only one maintainer. Like everybody, even these who are providing internet to you, right? Actually, they also buying the network from some main network itself, some main provider itself. I think in India it's BSNL or Reliance. I don't know clearly. Okay, so only one provider overall. Only that provider only is providing internet to all other providers. They are again providing to you. Okay, so here actually you do have only 1 crore 60 lakhs IP address only. The maintainer, the provider can
Public IP.
provide.
One crore
Yes,
60 lakhs
public IP.
public IP.
Exactly. Public IPs, you have only that many, not more than that. But in real time, how many devices you do have? Crores of. Even in my home itself, I do have 10 devices, 10 mobiles, 10 laptops. Then overall in the world, 600 or 700 crores of people we are now, overall world. How many organizations we have, how many laptops they do have, how many employees they do have, how it is possible 1 crore 70 lakhs IP addresses? Is it possible to assign to thousands of crores for laptops devices? No, not at all possible. That's the reason they made a private concept. What is private concept means? So internally, so as I told you, what is my private IP address? 192. Who provided this IP? My router. What is my router now? My mobile. Actually, my mobile is router for me now. I enable the hotspot. Now, if you see my public IP address, actually it would be different. I don't know, it's showing some MAC address instead of IP address. Find your IP. It's showing MAC address instead of public. You can try that, guys. If you just type public IP address, it will show you your public IP address. See, this is my public IP address, 223. But what it is showing in my laptop? 192 series. Why? Because it's a private IP address. What is the purpose of private IP address? For internal communication. Okay, to get more IPs, to reduce the cost. I no need to take 10 connections to connect my 10 devices. Okay, but why private IPs are required in AWS? So again, in AWS, why we are using private IP address means for internal communication purpose. From one service, so now EC2 is one service. Do you agree with me, guys?
Yes.
Yes, yes.
So
Yes.
EC2
Yes.
is one of the service in AWS. Again, internally, it has to talk to other services from one network, like one service to another, like storage. Again, with databases, maybe with other EC2 instances. So just a minute, guys. That's fine. Right? So for that purpose, for internal purpose, AWS also using again private networks, private so one network that is called as VPC. Okay, so to create private IPs, and here like why VPC is required means to provide the network to your EC2 instance, your services. All your services should be part of one of the VPC for sure. By default, you will have one VPC in your AWS network, in AWS account. So in that VPC only, you will create all your services. This is one
I
private
think Amar,
network.
we can also launch our relational database in VPC, right?
Yes, as many as. So whatever the services you have, while launching them, it will ask you. Actually, we have a I showed third step in EC2 instance creation. Did you remember instance details?
It uses the
Just a
default
minute,
VPC.
guys. So not only EC2 guys, every service definitely they should be in part of one of the VPC. Okay, maybe some don't need a VPCs directly. Okay, like they need only private public IPs, some maybe some public DNSs. But internally to communicate one service to another service, definitely they need private IP. Without private IP, they cannot communicate
Amar,
for sure. Yes.
what's the difference between website IP address and the device IP address?
Okay. So maybe let's assume that this is my EC2 instance. Okay. Here I
Mhm.
installed a tool called HTTPD. So HTTPD is to maintain a website. One of the tool, one of the application. Okay. Here again HTTPD. When I install HTTPD, I have the configuration file and I have configuration directory also where I can maintain my web pages in that configuration directory. And in the configuration file, I can maintain the settings. So what should be my application, my website address I can maintain here in that configuration file. What IP address I want to have for maybe for this EC2 instance, I may have, let's assume that one IP address. Let's take one example I'm giving, not exact so 168 1 dot something like that. This is your IP address of your EC2 instance. Okay, and here in this HTTPD configuration file, maybe I have to attach one more IP address to this same EC2 instance, one virtually 168.1.4, and this IP address I will make in this configuration file. Okay, so virtual some host address, some option is there. So in that file, I can add this number to that website, that like maybe domain. So this is called as website address, and this address only you will maintain in DNS name, DNS servers with some name, some youtube.com, facebook.com, twitter.com. So I don't know how many observe this one. When you get a when you get a network connection from any provider, they will provide one DNS name also, DNS server also. That is an one again somewhere it is running. That IP address they will provide to you. Again, it will be configured in your network setting. Whenever I did youtube.com, okay, so whenever I did youtube.com. Actually, how I know youtube.com address? Actually, it should be private IP address, not name. But why name? We are going with names means for identification purpose, for easy identification. If so, because in real time we do have crores of IPs. How can I identify youtube.com IP address? I can remember. But if it is name, I can remember, right? So this youtube.com, so it will go to in my network setting, DNS server address will be there, right? So maybe I'll show you my DNS address. Where is the DNS address? There should be DNS settings. I don't know, here it is not showing. Okay, the DNS network also. So that what that server will do means, yeah. So this is my DNS. Actually, is providing MAC address instead of IPv address. Okay, so maybe internally they will use some algorithm to replace this with the IP address. This is your DNS address. It'll youtube.com. It will go to this server somewhere in the internet. This IP address, and here it will check what is the IP address of that youtube.com, and it will reach out to this like maybe there are some redirections. It will reach out to this application from that again over the network, and that is what like the IP address of your EC2, maybe the host or IP address of your website. It can be different, it can be same also. It's up to you. You can maintain virtual IP addresses like this. Again, there is a procedure to add that virtual IP address. But most probably your system IP address and your website IP address will be same. Okay, it's not a different, but you can make it different also. It's up to you. So who asked that question?
Me, Amar, Lalit.
Okay, Lalit.
Yeah,
So are
I
you
got
clear?
it. Yes, yes.
Internal configuration of that website. In that website
Got.
configuration file, every tool has its own configuration file, its own setting file. Configuration is nothing but setting file. In that setting file, you can add virtual website, virtual some terminology is there for that. Virtual host IP, something like that. You can add that for your website. Okay, but that IP should be available already in the public. Then only it works. Yeah. Okay, guys. Let's get into our topic now. Again, as I told you, like always private network is only for internal purpose, and here also in AWS also private is for internal purpose only, not for public purpose. So this VPC is also for private purpose only, not for public purpose. But for sure, definitely your service should be one of the VPC. Your EC2 instance should be in one of the VPC. Then only it will get one private IP. Okay. And with the help of these private IPs only, one service to another service will be communicated. One EC2 instance to one more EC2 instance. Let's assume that here I have one file. Okay. I want to read it from here. There are some tools for that. But how they will communicate? They won't communicate with public actually. Okay, so they will communicate internally with this private IP address only. So without private IP address, they cannot reach one to another. So that is the purpose VPC is required. Again, why I need multiple VPCs mean for security purpose. So okay, so I can create my dev servers in one network or maybe QA servers in one more network. So they cannot, even though with private IP address also they cannot communicate now because there is no route at all from this to this. They're completely in private network. But from outside we can connect. Customer or maybe employee can connect to this EC2 because every VPC has its own internet gateway. With that internet gateway, so we can communicate with this EC2 instance. So public is for customer purpose. Who provides that public IP? Your AWS network. And private IP address is for your internal purpose to communicate from one service. So, like again, why I need to communicate? You will come to know in later sessions in another tools. Okay, maybe you have one file, one data here. I want to read it from here. Definitely. So, how can I communicate from here to here? It's with private IP address only. Without private IP, it is not possible. Okay. So, yeah. So, guys, any improvement? అర్థమైందా? Maybe so I'm just repeating one more time in Telugu. Guys, very simple. మనకు పబ్లిక్ అండ్ ప్రైవేట్ నెట్వర్క్స్ ఉంటాయి ఎక్కడైనా సరే. AWS లో కాదు, Azure లో కాదు, ఎక్కడైనా సరే. సో పబ్లిక్ కాన్సెప్ట్ ఏంటంటే పబ్లిక్ అనేది నీకు నెట్వర్క్ ప్రొవైడర్ ప్రొవైడ్ చేసే దాన్ని పబ్లిక్ ఐపీ అంటారు. ఆ ఐపీతోనే ఎప్పుడైనా మనం కమ్యూనికేట్ అవుతాం. ఎగ్జాంపుల్ నేను ఒక కనెక్షన్ తీసుకున్నా హోమ్ నెట్వర్క్. సో ఆ కనెక్షన్ ఏం చేస్తుంది అంటే నాకు ఒక ఐపీ ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తుంది నా నెట్వర్క్ ప్రొవైడర్. దాన్ని పబ్లిక్ ఐపీ అంటారు. అగైన్ ఐ విల్ కనెక్ట్ టు మై రౌటర్. నేను రౌటర్ కి కనెక్ట్ చేస్తాను దాన్ని. ఎప్పుడు డైరెక్ట్ గా ఇప్పుడు నవడేస్ ఎవరైనా యూజ్ చేస్తున్నారా డైరెక్ట్ కనెక్షన్? యూ కెన్ యూజ్ ఇట్ బట్ విల్ గెట్ ఓన్లీ వన్ ఐపీ. ఒకటే ఐపీ వస్తుంది డైరెక్ట్ గా నా ల్యాప్టాప్ కి కనెక్ట్ చేసుకుంటే. బట్ అదే నేను వైఫై కనెక్ట్ చేస్తే వైఫైలో ఒక అల్గారిథం ఉంటుంది, ఒక ఫార్ములా ఉంటుంది, దాన్ని సబ్నెట్ అల్గారిథం అంటారు. సో అల్గారిథం ఏం చేస్తుంది అంటే నా కనెక్షన్ టైప్ని బట్టి అనేది రేంజ్ని బట్టి నా రౌటర్ మళ్ళీ సబ్నెట్స్ ని క్రియేట్ చేస్తుంది, నెట్వర్క్ ని డివైడ్ చేసి మోర్ ఐపీస్ ని ఇస్తుంది. అవి ప్రైవేట్ రేంజ్ లో ఉంటాయి ఎప్పుడైనా. ప్రైవేట్ నెట్వర్క్ అది. నా ల్యాప్టాప్ కి నా మొబైల్ కి అన్నిటికి ప్రైవేట్ రేంజ్ 192 సిరీస్ కానీ 172 కానీ 10 సిరీస్ కానీ వస్తుంది. సో ఎందుకు పబ్లిక్ అండ్ ప్రైవేట్ రేంజెస్ ఉండాలి అంటే యాక్చువల్ గా మనకు రియల్ టైమ్ లో 1,60,00,000 ఐపీస్ మాత్రమే ఉన్నాయి. ఇనఫ్ ఐపీస్ లేవు. ఓకేనా? సో అవన్నీ మనం సపోర్ట్ చేయవు. మన మన రియల్ టైమ్ లో ఎన్ని డివైసెస్ ఉన్నాయి? కొన్ని వందల కోట్లు, ఒక్కొక్కడికే 4-5 మొబైల్స్ ఉన్నాయి. అగైన్ ఇఫ్ యు టేక్ ఆర్గనైజేషన్, థౌజండ్స్ ఆఫ్ లాక్స్ ఆఫ్ ఎంప్లాయీస్ ఉన్నారు. వాళ్ళందరికీ పబ్లిక్ ఐపీ కావాలంటే, పబ్లిక్ కనెక్షన్స్ కావాలంటే వాడు అమ్ముకోవాలి. వాడు ప్రాఫిట్స్ ఏముండవు ఇంకా. సో ఏం చేస్తాడు వాడు? హార్డ్లీ కార్పొరేట్ కనెక్షన్ తీసుకుంటాడు, బిగ్ కనెక్షన్, బిగ్ టైప్ సో రేంజ్ తీసుకుంటాడు, ఐపీ అడ్రస్ రేంజ్. ఆ రేంజ్ ఎంత పెద్దగా ఉంటే అంత మనీ అవుతుంది. సో దాన్నే హోమ్ కనెక్షన్, కార్పొరేట్ కనెక్షన్ డిఫరెన్స్ ఏంటి అంటే రేంజ్ చిన్నగా ఉంటుంది హోమ్ కనెక్షన్ కి, అంటే నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ఐపీస్ తక్కువ వస్తాయి. కార్పొరేట్ కనెక్షన్ కి పెద్ద రేంజ్ ఉంటుంది, సో ఆ నెంబర్ ఆఫ్ ఐపీస్ ఎక్కువ వస్తాయి, కాకపోతే కాస్ట్ ఎక్కువ. అగైన్ వాడు ఏం చేస్తాడు? స్విచ్చెస్ కి కనెక్ట్ చేస్తాడు. అక్కడ నెట్వర్క్ ఆ వైడ్ స్విచ్చెస్ అనేవి కొంచెం పెద్దగా ఉంటాయి రౌటర్ కన్నా, ఫంక్షనాలిటీస్ కూడా కొంచెం పెద్దగా ఉంటాయి, మోర్ ఐపీస్ ని ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తాయి. సబ్నెట్ ఉంటుంది అగైన్ స్విచ్చెస్ లో. సో అవే మన కస్టమర్, మన ఎంప్లాయీస్ అందరు యూజ్ చేసుకుంటారు ఆ ప్రైవేట్ ఐపీ అడ్రస్. సో అలాగే ఇక్కడ కూడా ఏడబ్ల్యూఎస్ లో కూడా పబ్లిక్ అండ్ ప్రైవేట్ రేంజ్ ఉంటుంది. అగైన్ పబ్లిక్ అంటే ఏంటి? మన ఏడబ్ల్యూఎస్ ప్రొవైడర్, అది కూడా ఒక ప్రొవైడరే, నెట్వర్క్ ప్రొవైడర్ మన సర్వీసెస్ కి. వాడు ఏం చేస్తాడు? పబ్లిక్ ఐపీస్ ని ప్రొవైడ్ చేస్తాడు మన EC2 ఇన్స్టెన్స్ కి. అగైన్ విపిసి అనేది ప్రైవేట్ నెట్వర్క్. ప్రైవేట్ నెట్వర్క్ ఎందుకు ఉండాలి అంటే,
ఇప్పుడు ఒక
సారీ
10 ఇన్స్టెన్సెస్ ఉన్నాయనుకో అమర్.
Uh,
సో AWS
speak in English. Ask your doubts in English.
For
Because
example, if you
maybe
have
some
10,
other.
if you have 10
Uh,
EC2 instances working at
hmm,
a time, so what do you call, AWS should provide public IP, right? Are they going to provide 10 public IP address, or they'll provide only one public IP
10,
address?
10, definitely 10 required.
So for every instance, they'll provide separate public IP.
Yes,
IP
exactly.
address. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
even private also will be different. You cannot assign the same private IP public to like a multiple EC2 instance. You will get multiple different.
Oh, got it.
And that public IP should be unique. It should not be private IP can be duplicate. Maybe in your account also same public IP might be there. In my account also same private IP might be there. They cannot communicate, right? So you can make it internal. So ikkada varake available untai private IP address ante. So
Okay.
the private IP address, guys, only internal purpose. Even in my home also I have 192 range. In your home also you will have 192. But still there is no conflict because that IP address cannot communicate with my IP. You cannot communicate with your IP. This 192. But so how my connection is working? Because it is going to my internet gateway, my router, and from there it will replace my private IP to public IP. Then it will go to the internet. Again, it will come with my public IP only to my router, my gateway, and from there it will replace my private IP. So here also same concept, guys. Okay, you do have public and private for EC2 instances. Your private range will be again assigned by your VPC, and public IP address will be assigned by your AWS. Again, for every VPC, one internet gateway, one router will be there. So with that help of router only, we can communicate with EC2 instances. Again, why private is required? It's not for our purpose. It's to communicate between the services, communication between the other services in the same VPC. Now, one VPC, one more VPC cannot talk to each other. By default, you will have only one VPC, not multiple. And why you need multiple VPCs means just for security purpose, I can maintain dev servers in one VPC and I can maintain QA servers in one more VPC. So whatever the services you created in this VPC cannot communicate with this VPC. Even so, there is no route at all. Even though you have private IP address here and here also, you cannot communicate because of this VPC different networks. Okay, so guys, again it's enough for today. In tomorrow class I will show you how to create VPC. So this is what, so guys, did you understand what is the public and what is private networks?
Yes.
Yes, Amar. One question.
Here, at least.
One question,
I'm
Amar.
sorry? Yes, tell me.
See, dev and quality are the one and the next procedure, right?
Yes, you're right.
First
Maybe
you
here
develop it
in this
and
servers
move
you
it
will
to
maintain
QA.
development. Here you will do the testing. The same setup. Whatever server here you have, here also you will have the same setup.
Okay. So first you develop and move it to QA for testing, right?
Yes.
So how does that happen if there is no connection between them?
Again, there are some workarounds for that. Okay.
I didn't get
So
it.
there is some workaround for that. We'll discuss in tomorrow class.
Okay.
You can create a maybe again for whatever the, let's assume that here I do have 10 servers. From one of the server from here to here, I want to copy the data. In that case, what I can do, so I can create a VPC peering to this VPC to this VPC, and you can create a routing if it is
Okay.
needed, if it is required. A service called a component called VPC peering
Uh-huh.
to connect from one VPC to another VPC. It is there. Definitely a workaround will be there, right?
Sure, sure. Yes, yes.
Yes, it is possible. We'll discuss in tomorrow class. Okay?
Sure. Okay, thank you
Yeah.
then.
Thank you, Amar.
Okay,
Thank you.
guys. Thank you. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
take care.
We'll
Bye,
meet
bye, bye.
again tomorrow, same time. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.